Thanks. Dude, I am so sorry. I'm just a little nervous about the whole zombie apocalypse.
You're kidding, right?
Not at all. I've been stockpiling toilet paper since the whole Florida incident. You gonna check it out?
Sure. I'm impressed, I think. Anyway, I was just swinging by to see if you wanted to play my game.
Which is?
Stubbs the Zombie, of course.
Oh, I've heard great things about this game. Let's do this. I am so sorry.
It happens.
Stubbs the Zombie Rebel Without a Pulse is a third-person action game developed by Wideload and published by Aspyr. There isn't a whole lot of thinking when it comes to the gameplay, which is always nice. There are few things that frustrate me more than having to read an entire manual before I play a video game. Agreed?
Agreed.
You know, you've been remarkably articulate for a member of the Undead. You don't have to read a manual because the gameplay is so simple. You essentially spend the entire game trying to kill everyone in your way. Of course, I'm using the word kill very loosely. You actually want to get a little nibble of brain to convert everybody into members of your very own undead army.
Nibble of brains.
Sometimes it's tough to get a little bite, so the game offers 4 weapons that will help you incite your very own apocalypse. The Fart Stun. The Fart Stun is, well, it's a fart, and it stuns. I think that makes perfect sense. If you find yourself surrounded by enemies, you can unleash this fantastic weapon of flatulence, and your enemies within the blast radius will find themselves completely stupefied. You can then easily snack on some gray matter.
Oh, that was a good one.
The next weapon is the Gut Bomb. Ugh. Stubbs actually tears his stomach out and chunks it like a hand grenade. You actually control when it detonates. I found myself using this in a similar manner to the Fart Stun. If I saw there was a bit of a crowd, I'd toss my stomach into the middle of the group and blast a crew to bits before you could say George Romero. The next 2 weapons are actually my favorite. What in the world are you eating?
Brains, of course.
Ah! What are you sprinkling on it?
Salt. Zombies love salt. Didn't you know that?
The first of the remaining 2 weapons is your hand. Stubbs can actually detach his hand and throw it. Once you throw it, you can control it like Thing from the Addams Family. Besides the fact that being able to run around as a hand is a load of fun, it's actually quite useful. Your hand can possess enemies, which is kind of handy. It's handy because that's the only way you're going to get access to a firearm. The first time you're introduced to this weapon, Stubbs has been captured by Sinus, so he tosses his arm. You then control the arm. You sneak up the wall and into an air conditioning vent. Navigate through the ventilation system and find a way out. You will come out one of 2 rooms, a prison cell or some sort of control room. Trust me, you want the control room. Here, you possess the cop and make your way back to the lab. It is not easy. My advice is to keep your gun holstered as long as possible. It made the whole mission a lot easier. The next weapon is Stubbs' head. He can actually remove his head and go bowling. Do you mind? Bowling with your head isn't the best weapon to use at first, but it is kind of fun. You basically steer your severed head into enemies and bowl them over. It's fun, but it took a little practice to get used to. You'll probably use these weapons quite a bit since your usual melee attack seems a bit clumsy. And humans, well, they can evade you fairly easily. This means you're going to drain your special attacks fairly quickly. And that means you're going to have to recharge your weapons regularly.
I know what you're asking yourself. How do I recharge these insane weapons? Sucking down brains, of course.
Oh yeah!
Brains also boost your health, but your health will also recover if you can find a nice place to hide, which is always a plus in any game.
There are many other nice gameplay moments, such as a dance-off. It seems, however, that as the game progresses, these elements seem to taper off.
Similarly to the Halo series, you get opportunities to control vehicles throughout the game. The controls of most vehicles remind me of controlling vehicles in the original Halo, which I figure was because Stubbs was built on the Halo engine. The vehicle combat moments were quite a bit of fun, and given that they occur so rarely, they become a real welcome break in gameplay.
Let's talk about graphics.
Graphically, the game is appealing. The character models are nice, but a few of the enemy models get repeated quite a bit. And the backgrounds, well, they get a little repetitive and boring.
So much so that I found myself getting lost a few times. The level textures are so similar that parts of the level just begin to look the same. But overall, I give the graphics a thumbs up.
The sound, on the other hand, is top-notch, through and through. Let's start with an impressive soundtrack full of remix versions of 50s classics performed by some fairly popular groups.
At least they were popular when the game was released.
Beyond the soundtrack, the game includes some nice sound effects. The crunch of the skull, the slurp of brains, and of course the enchanting sound of...
The game's pretty good, but what's the glue that holds every great game together? A great plot. And frankly, this game just doesn't have it. I'm not blaming you, it's just the fact.
Granted, many of the cutscenes are funny, but the story they weave is awfully hard to follow as the game progresses. The basic storyline is that at some point in the 1930s, a traveling salesman by the name of Eddie Stubbs falls in love with a girl named Maggie Monday. Maggie's father eventually shoots Stubbs in the wilderness and leaves him for dead. In the alternate version of 1959, Maggie's son has built the town of Punchbowl, Pennsylvania, right on top of Stubbs' grave. Stubbs breaks free from his grave and incites a zombie apocalypse, exacting revenge on the Monday family. Stubbs is eventually united with Maggie.
And I'll leave it at that. It's awfully difficult to stitch the story together from the game's cutscenes. Stubbs the Zombie is a pretty good game, if you can allow yourself to get past the difficult to follow plot. So I guess you'll be off.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Alright, well, I'll be seeing you around, I guess. Gonna take a nice bath, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Well, take it easy.
Stubbs the Zombie Rebel Without a Pulse is a fantastic game on the original Xbox. Now, if you've got a newer Xbox 360, you can play it on that. And if you can't get that to work out for you, you can download it on Xbox Live. So you basically have no excuse not to give it a try. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Hey everybody, that was the Halloween special. I hope you enjoyed it. By now we have done 6 episodes, which means we've been working on this for half a year. And so far the show has been a lot of fun to do and a lot of work. I want to thank everybody that's helped out. Will, Catherine, you guys especially. You guys have been like the unknown crew on the show, and a real big thank you to my wife, who's super understanding about this whole thing and has stepped up to the plate and done an episode. So thank you guys for that. As I was editing this video, I found myself cracking up more at the outtakes than the actual episode. So I thought I'd throw a little bit of an outtake reel here at the end for you to check out. So just kind of as a thank you for making it half a year with me, here's some of the outtakes from this episode.
Nibble of brains. Nibble of brains.
Oh, my glasses are on.
You're like... Stuff's disgusting.
It's fantastic, actually. Go ahead.
Nibble of brains.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Disgusting.
I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Alright. Don't ask. Don't even ask. Alright. Nibble of brains.
Okay. We gotta keep that one because that's the best we're gonna get, I think.
Okay, now.
That was disgusting.
wallet scene.
Nibble of brains.
Shot.
Okay. Is that all one shot?
I think it's all in the blue. And then
I bet you there's a voiceover part in there.
yeah, the stars part. I think is
Yeah, that's a voiceover.
Okay.
So, what's the thing I gotta do?
There are
There are a few things that frustrate me more than having to read an entire manual before I play a video game.
All that stuff all over my lips. I don't want to lick it off because I have makeup on my
No,
lips.
do this.
You're glistening.
You have lip gloss on.
Is it
You're a pretty zombie.
spectacular?
All right. Will you go over to the Audacity, the one that's recording?
Are these real blades?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, they will snap your finger off like that.
So put your hands out and up. So yeah, that's good. So I'll come in, hand this to you, say thanks, and then I'll yell. Hopefully I won't laugh. And then I'll grab the chainsaw, and then we'll change angles, and then I'll do another grab the chainsaw. Okay, you got it. This is gonna be so loud. Ready for dogs. I'm gonna go slit the dog's throat. Thanks. Okay.
That was really good,
That's
actually.
awesome.
Alright, hold on, stop.
That was really good. That was much better than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I went baby.
Oh, that sounded off the chart.
I know.
On that thing.
You're like, this one you're like, all of a sudden you're.